We're going to be talking about inflation, earnings, and the price of gold. And I also have my first gold purchase in the books for 2022. So this seems like a lot to cover. Let's just jump in. So this is a weird week to be making videos about gold. We have Jerome Powell speaking today. This is Tuesday. We have inflation numbers coming out Wednesday and Thursday. And then we have fourth quarter earnings coming out on Friday. I'm no analyst here, but each of those is probably going to have an impact on the price of gold. So this seems like a really good week to just sit in the balcony and watch the show. We get some really important information at the end of the week that's going to give us an idea of where gold is going to go this year, but let's come back to that. I did get a purchase in last week. Gold was in the 1700s, just barely. It was 1790 or so. And really, it's hard to say if that's going to feel like a good price or not by the end of the week, but I do have a feeling it'll go up. We just have some competing forces, so who knows? At the end of the day, at the end of the week, a few percentage points, though, really isn't going to make a big difference to me. Especially when you look at Bitcoin as a comparison. Bitcoin's dropped, 40%, 42% between November and yesterday. So I think that rubs off. It gives me a feeling that maybe gold will go on sale at some point too. This was my first gold purchase of 2022. And because of that, maybe it's a little bit more interesting. I got an American Gold Eagle. I've just been thinking that I need to get back to plan and start buying US mint coins first, or at least more of them, and then get more selective about the fun stuff. If you saw my polls last week, or you spent any time on Discord, you probably saw that I was shopping the 2021 Libertads, the reverse proof Libertads, but I just couldn't justify a 60% premium on a gold coin. Having a YouTube channel does let me justify that kind of thing sometimes. Maybe. And I also realize that a person can buy a Libertad and flip it for a profit, but I just don't buy gold to flip. I hold on to it. There's not a whole lot that I can say about the American Gold Eagle that I haven't already said. It's not a super exciting coin to me, but I do think that it's the one that makes the most sense for anyone buying in the United States. Now, Buffaloes are pretty similar. They definitely look nicer on camera. The reason I got the Eagle over the Buffalo is just it's simple. I got a better price. I think it's probably a little bit contradictory for me to say Eagles are the way to go also when I haven't been buying them as much lately. And I have been talking to local dealers. They all seem pretty happy to be buying any of the foreign bullion that I've been interested in. But mostly I want to organize a stack a little bit just to make everything easier. Vaulting is easier. Selling is easier. Handing them down would be easier. And not that I expect my gold to go anywhere, and not that I expect that I'm going anywhere, hopefully, but I want less of a mess. So I don't mean to overanalyze this. I picked up an Eagle. I'm not saying that I'm not going to buy foreign stuff. There's always coins that come up that I like that I'll grab sometime, but I think it's a good place to start the year off for me rather than to start it off with something like a $3,100 reverse proof Libertad. This just sets the right tone. Back to this week, I think that the price factors are going to be a little bit confusing. Inflation numbers could send prices up. Powell could send prices up. The interesting part, though, that I'm waiting for personally is just to see what the earnings reports do on Friday. Because the story is that we have a strong economy, and we can all comment on that from the balcony, but the earnings are going to give actual data. And if the data supports that story, then we're going to see how gold reacts, whether or not that's priced in. So if the earnings reports come in strong and the price of gold drops on that information, then we'll know that later in the year, if we see additional information that again says, hey, the economy is strong, whether we think it is or not, then the price of gold is probably going to make a similar move. So I was buying an ounce of gold this month regardless. I just kind of took a guess on timing. I think it probably worked out. And I went for my top choice. I think the premium was maybe 7% on this coin. So not the greatest, but definitely not 60% like those reverse proof Libertads. And I also bought some Bitcoin, and that's not something I've been doing a lot of lately. Mostly I buy altcoins. This is not a crypto channel, but Bitcoin dropped 42% since November. And I think all that talk about how Bitcoin is a hedge like gold really is proven to be wrong. It follows the market like a risk asset. So once again, I just don't think Bitcoin and gold compete. As for the capital though, Had I purchased that Libertad, I probably would have been stealing from some of the investment capital that I put into Bitcoin instead. I think Friday will be pretty telling for Bitcoin as well. I liked it at 40K. We'll see where it goes from here. I'm sure, though, that there are going to be people watching this thinking that Libertad would have been the better investment. I'm pretty sure personally that Bitcoin will beat it over time. And again, I don't think of gold as an investment. I think of it as savings. So I'm pretty comfortable with that decision. This way I ended up with an ounce of gold all the same, but I also had a little bit extra investment capital. So I think we can keep this one short. I have to go grab some popcorn for the inflation and earnings reports, but let me know what you think. If you have a price prediction, I'd love to hear it. And if you think the Bitcoin and the Eagle were boring, and let me know that too. Maybe I should have bought the Libertad instead, you tell me. But while you're there, make sure you hit the like button if any of this was interesting. Make sure you subscribed if you want to hear more on the topic. And if you're still here, thank you again for watching. I always appreciate your time. Take care.